And there's something coming up tomorrow that I wanted to let you know about. It's a fundraiser for the Progressive Democrats of America. Tim Carpenter has been a regular on this program for years and years and years. And he was the co-founder of PDA. He passed away a few weeks ago. We talked with him just, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks before he died. But the PDA is continuing. And Jim Hightower and Mimi Kennedy are going to be at this fundraiser. Jim Hightower, the national radio commentator, author of Swim Against the Current, Even a Dead Fish Can Go with the Flow. He was twice elected Texas Agriculture Commissioner, and his website is jimhightower.com. And Mimi Kennedy, who is the actress. In fact, when she came up on our Skype, Shane says, "Oh, my God, it's Dharma's mom." Actress, writer on the advisory board and chair of the advisory board of the Progressive Democrats of America. PDAmerica.org is the website. And welcome to both of you, Jim and Mimi.
Great to be with you.
Thank you, Tim.
Great to have you with us. Let me start with you, Mimi, if I could. If you could tell us about what's going to happen this weekend in Los Angeles.
Okay, it's Sunday night. 6 to 8 p.m. So finish off your weekend with some really good food at one of our great supporters' homes. We're going to gather with Jim. And Jim, hi, I can't wait to have a belly laugh or several. We're going to remember Tim Carpenter.
12-ounce elbow bands.
Yeah, there you go. There'll be bittersweet. It'll be a bittersweet mixture. We're meeting. Last year, Tim was with us. And we're going to remember him this year, and we're going to have our co-executive directors, Connor Boylan and Andrea Miller, talk about what PDA is doing moving forward. And that's, our activist leadership, which is probably about 100 totally committed volunteer 24/7 activists and about 70,000 people who act on all of our emails and issues and a mailing list of 3 times that. PDA is continuing. It's the house that Tim built, and we're going to celebrate that and raise a little money for it.
Yeah, and keep it going. I mean, this is arguably this country is the house that George Washington built, and his death did not end the country. So on we go. Jim Hightower, you and I were actually at this exact same fundraiser last year, and I was planning on being here with you and Mimi and everybody else this year, and our radio industry kind of got blown up, and I got stuck here in Washington, D.C. My apologies for not being able to be there, but your thoughts on the weekend and the state of affairs and PDA and anything else you want to riff on?
Well, I'll just echo a little bit of what Mimi was saying there. The genius of Tim Carpenter was that he created leaders, of just ordinary people, and he brought them forth, brought out the best of everybody, and that's why this organization is prepared to go right ahead without Tim, doing the kind of grassroots work that it has always done. And by the way, the Progressive Democrats of America just had 3 big victories in elections, including Bonnie Watson Coleman, who just won a highly contested race for Congress in New Jersey. She's in line to replace the great Rush Holt, who was one of the top leaders against corporate money in politics from New Jersey. And she is a member of PDA and is going to carry that message forth, too. So not only are we gaining grassroots, but also grassroots are producing legislators and mayors and others who are carrying the progressive message forward. Not only the message, but actually putting a little bit of progress in progressive by introducing and passing legislation that works for all of us.
Yeah, that's marvelous. Putting progress in progressive. I love it. And you have run for public office. You have been an elected official, Jim, and you know how difficult that is. I mean, that's...
Well, I do indeed. People in Texas still laughing about that time, but got elected twice to statewide office here as agriculture commissioner, and implemented a populist program, and that's government can actually work for ordinary people if government reaches out to those people and enlists them to do the heavy lifting of democracy. And we did that, but now the level of money that is in this effort, and that's one thing that I'll be talking about on Sunday, is Citizen United, and now the subsequent decisions that have come down from these 5 black-robed thugs on the Supreme Court to declare that corporation is a person and that money is speech. If money is speech, doesn't that mean that we don't have free speech anymore?
Yeah, I've got $147 in my pocket, and it hasn't said a word to me all day.
Spend all you can.
Yeah.
and you get to speak.
Yeah.
It's but we're going to get a vote in the Senate on this issue. They held a hearing this week in the U.S. Senate on a proposed constitutional amendment introduced by Tom Udall, senator out of New Mexico, to send a constitutional amendment to the states, to the people, to vote on whether you want to get this corporate money out, whether you believe a corporation is a person, whether you think that money is speech. All of those things are up for grabs in this amendment. We have the hearing this week. We'll have the committees. We'll begin to massage it and produce a bill that could be as early as July, have a vote on it in the Senate. More likely, I would think, down after the August recess. They need to go home and rest a little bit for the month of August.
And this may well just be the first try. I mean, it's,
sure.
Very often these, and also this one doesn't include the anti-corporate personhood, which I would love to see in the next try if this one doesn't go through. Mimi, tell this weekend fundraiser in L.A. for people who can't be there. First of all, anybody in the L.A. area or who wants to come to the L.A. area for Sunday, just go to pdamerica.org and you can sign up for this fundraiser. But for people who aren't in the L.A. area, this is still an opportunity for them to participate, right?
Yeah, this is the time when we go for the big donations that help our activists stay afloat for the year. Nobody is getting rich off of pdamerica.org. We don't have anybody in a big air-conditioned office making a huge salary. But we do have to pay our plane fares and keep everybody's computers running, and we do pay our staff, and we're trying to give them health care. So this is our chance to really fund that work, which most of our people are doing as volunteers. But of course, we have a very small staff. I think it's about 6 or 10 people now that receive stipends. So this is our chance to pay them, to thank them, to make sure that we get a little extra wind beneath their wings. And we would appreciate any donations from people who are taking what's usually screaming, clenched teeth, whatever, when you listen to right-wing media. And hopefully, of course, you're listening to Tom, but he's one of the few progressive voices that we have. And since I am in media, one of the things I'm determined to do is to make sure that one of the next 4, 6 to 10 years of PDA makes sure that we will see, with an end to corporate personhood and all this money, that there will be a much more balance in the media, and certainly progressive voices. And I'd like to make progressive Democrats, or even a progressive America, redundant. We should be taking care of each other. We know what to do. We have the money to do it. We're a very rich country, and some of the rich people could be given a little more to enjoy, thanks for all that they enjoy with our self-government. So that's on my agenda, Tom. And I want to thank you so much for what you do. And just know, PDA has your back. You're on our board, of course. But in the media, we really want to help proliferate the voices of the people and progressive voices.
Right. And for which I receive no compensation. In fact, when I was planning on coming out there, I was paying for my own airfare. PDAmerica.org is the website, as in Progressive Democrats of America, PDAmerica.org, the website. And Jim, Mimi just said something that I thought was brilliant. We want to make progressive Democrats redundant. In other words, Democrats should become the party of progressives. As a student of history, you know that there was a time when even Republicans were progressive. The era of Teddy Roosevelt and Taft.
Teddy Roosevelt and Fighting Bob La Follette. He was a Republican before he broke off because it became too corporate, and then he founded the Progressive Party, and in 1924, I think it was, that election, he got like 25% of the vote for president, running on the Progressive ticket. So yes, there's a long history of common sense, which is kind of hard to believe these days. Looking at the national Republicans in the Congress, and in many cases getting worse. But it's one thing to talk about the Republicans, but we've got to deal with our own party. And Tim's vision was always that the Democratic Party ought to be a Democratic Party.
Right.
Make it stand for something besides the national anthem. Get up and go out there and fight with ordinary people, the workaday people of this country. Join them in battling and defeating the bosses, the bankers, the big shots, bastards, and BSers who feel free to run roughshod over us these days.
Yeah, and they are, and they do. And it's time that we stand up and say enough already. We've had enough of this. And Progressive Democrats of America, over 300 drops of monthly letters in congressional districts, congressional roundtable on Capitol Hill every month. You can join the roundtable. You can participate. This has to do with the civil rights agenda, voting rights, ERA, jobs, Trayvon's Law, democracy restoration, environmental justice, healthcare justice, all this stuff. Find it all at pdamerica.org. Mimi, Jim, thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tom.
And that's this Sunday, pdamerica.org, day after tomorrow.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Visit thomhartmann.com for audio and video archives.
That would be as in Sunday, June 8th, 2014. We'll be back.